Hey, what's up guys, TheCampingRusher here. Welcome back to Factions Base Tour, a series that comes out on this channel every single Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Today we are looking at a very unique base, very rich base. We are on Factions White here on pvp.thearchon.net. Remember, if you want to apply to be on this show, just leave a comment down below with which factions color you play on, and you may be featured in the next episode. Every episode I always ask you to leave a comment saying what we should name the base. Last episode, the comment came in from Gaming Rainbow MC. Name the base Gibraltar, because it is a heavily defended base, and Gibraltar was one of the most defended forts in history, owned by the great old Brits, of course. Well, one, I don't know if I said that right, but two, very cool idea. Today we are looking at a base on Factions White from the faction Defiance. Cool thing about Defiance is they are actually the Factions White version of Aurora. Ben Mascot is a mod in the faction. I don't think he owns the faction because he doesn't play as much on here. His home is on gold. But yeah, they are the Factions White version of Aurora. So keep that in mind as we go through. Starting off with the exterior. Nothing crazy special, but there is one point I would like to make in a second here. The interior is what I'm most excited to show you. But first off, they have a corner claim. So they got a bunch of extra space. You can see the amount of walls. Remember, this is a wither base. We are not looking at a cannon base right now. We are looking at a wither base. I know it's been a while, but here in the end on Factions White, that's what it is. So lots of walls. I mean, they got all the walls up here that you have to go through with the wither. And then it looks like they got an ocean plus more walls underneath and one final wrap of 3 different wraps to end it off. Now, the cool thing about this base is the gap. I think I was told it is a 162 block gap. So I will be going, I'll start off just to give you kind of a speed idea. So I'm going this fast, all right? And I'm not going to stop. And you guys will see how long it takes for the base to come into render. There it is. Huge freaking gap. You can't even render in the base. There is no chance someone is going to be able to make a boat ender pearl on this server. Not any chance in the world. They've got one wet wall and dry wall to counter any cannon attacks, or actually they have 2 wet walls, it looks like, one obsidian. And the base itself is absolutely massive. Look at how wide and like it's a square. It's a huge freaking square. Usually the actual base itself would cut off around this area where my cursor is, probably around there to there. Like usually there's not too much width on these things, but this thing is massive, so you could probably understand why the interior is going to be so OP. And I guess we'll head in there now. They got the corner walls here. I think they pushed it out so they won't be able to just walk here on the corners, because obviously then you could just walk a wither. But this is world border right here. No one, I have bypass on right now, but usually you wouldn't be able to walk on these water walls, obviously. Alright, now let me show you the inside of this bad boy. I told you this thing was going to be magnificent. Well, let's take a look. It is huge. It is absolutely huge, first of all. So we start off, looks like to be a raid drop-off chest area, plus a place where they loot their creeper spawners. Now we move over here. They got a fancy little hallway, it looks like. The colors on this base, the color scheme is magnificent. They've got easy parkour. So they got parkour there as well. Looks like a little drop chute to get from the top to the bottom. And now we'll take a look. So these here, are these IG spawners? I assume these are iron golem spawners because the amount of space they've saved. Yes, okay, so that is their IG spawners. A ton of those things. We'll get calculations at the end of the episode today. But now let's head up the staircase. You can see this thing is just, it's insane, man. It's absolutely insane. That's where we just came from. Lots of parkour, etc. Kind of the bottom starting. I don't actually know if that would be the main floor. That's ground floor, we'll say. This right here may be somewhat of main floor. They got the potions room. They're still making use of all this space, but they're also making it look very beautiful as well. Looks like a little ice castle to top off the design with, I guess a design with like a water, I don't know what to call this thing, just a natural piece of art. That's what we'll call it. And this looks into the creeper spawners, I assume. Yes, so we were just down there. And then they've got a fancy little house, a fancy little snow house. Oh my god, the detail in this thing is crazy. They got stairs, they got the whole ordeal, even a nice little deck to look down at the second floor here. So this is mostly, I think, a design floor, just a filler floor to look good, and it does look freaking good, I'll give them that. Now, I would say this is probably the main floor. So we get up here, and this is where the storage is at. The labeled storage, I should say. They have iron armor marking out the diamond armor. They have lots of dubs armor. We will check into that in the calculations at the end of the episode. Looks like some more unorganized raid drop-off chests. Nice to have those around, to be honest. Even though it doesn't look the greatest, it's nice to have them, because then during raids you can go very quick and not organized till after you're done. Coming over here, the bedrock. The use of the bedrock. They've got not a canopy, dude. I don't know. An umbrella. We'll call it an umbrella. There's a name for these things. A gazebo, maybe? And they've got all, they got the use of bedrock, a nice big bedrock platform, and a nice little meeting area, I guess this would be. But yeah, I would say definitely this is their main floor, the top floor, as they have all that storage. Look at the staircases as well. And the color scheme on the walls, the designs, like, oh my lord, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, dude? It's fantastic, the amount of art that has went into this base, and the amount of design and time. It's really impressive, and they're still making good use of the base. They got the IGs. It's just that the base is so big that they have room to do, they have room to do the design, and they have room to, actually make this thing efficient and effective, which is obviously the purpose. Now, to top it all off, they have a silverfish spawner. They have the 1 or the 2 silverfish spawners, depending how many end portals were in the world, in the 10,000 by 10,000 world. But yeah, they have the silverfish spawner, and obviously it's all marked out nice and pretty. They even got a couple silverfish floating around. So I don't know how I'm going to calculate that. We'll see. I'll just kind of say what I think it's worth, because we've never seen that before. A faction that had the silverfish spawner posted up in their base. So super impressed by that for sure. Nice little raid drop-off spot over there as well. And lots of storage. With the amount of room that these guys have in their base, they don't do the box system, so a little unsafe in that regard. But honestly, it looks so epic. It makes up for it, and it's just a massive base. Like, it's huge. I can't wait to hear how much time went into this thing, because I think it's gonna be somewhat surprising, because it's a magnificent base. And I love the light colors. It adds a nice, fun, vibrant vibe to this base for sure. So I think that's all for the actual base. Because there's no boxes, it actually took a little bit quicker than usual. But we will now jump into a call with these guys and hear a little bit of stories from the Factions White version of Aurora. Jumping into a call with the, I guess, Aurora version here on Factions White, we have Kramus, Unadvised, and Void. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Good, boys. That's what I like to hear. Well, first off, this base is freaking beautiful. This base is magnificent, looks great. The interior is amazing. We'll find out if you're actually rich, but it seems like you're pretty freaking rich. We'll get to that in the calculations, but just want to say, first overall impression, the design is insane. Good job, guys. One of the best looking bases I've ever seen on this show. But right away, we'll get into a few questions. So first off, how long has this base been up here on Factions White?
I would say like 3 weeks.
3 weeks, okay. So kind of in the in-between stage. It's been around for a while. Has anyone made an attempt on it yet? Anything like that?
A little dense, but...
Yeah, little dense, but nothing too much to talk about, hey? So it's been basically immortal for sure. Okay. And how much time, like, combined? I'm talking walls, I'm talking interior. How many hours has the team put into this in all?
In total, probably like 4 days straight.
4 days straight. Yeah. Obviously not straight, but so you mean added up. So 24, 48, yeah. 96 hours of work time, you know, from individual players combined all up. That does make sense. I could see that being realistic. You know, counting the amount of walls, the interior design, the sheer size of this base. Like, let's not forget that. Wow, 96 hours. That's probably the most time it's ever taken, I think, for a team to build a base on this show. So congrats on that. Now, all right, so who was in charge? Because obviously the interior design is what really makes this base stand out. Who was in charge of the interior design?
Well, basically, all of us pitched in, like all the mods pitched in to the interior design, like the downstairs. I think Boyd made the little tunnels from like,
Yep.
the
Yeah,
hall to hall.
I made the little ice tunnels downstairs.
Yeah, and the chest room. I think everyone did the chest room mostly, and like these walls, Immortal and like Hawthorne Beast worked them on a little bit, and then yeah, we all basically pitched in.
So it was a combined effort from the entire team, is what you're saying. Not one guy took charge. It was really. So are you all skilled at interior? Or did someone take the lead and then people did the manual work? Like,
I'm okay. I wouldn't say the best, but
I suck in interior.
you're sucking. So okay, so someone kind of took the lead and then directed people who weren't as skilled. It seems like, but everyone chipped in, which shows a good quality of a faction. You guys are working together very nicely. So good on you for that. Now, what was your base previous to this? This base has only been up for 3 weeks, so I assume you had a base before this. What happened to that base? Where is that base? Did you have that base?
Well, it got incited. Oh
my god, that is so depressing the way you said that. It got inside. That was so. Okay, it got incited by someone in the faction, like a friend of yours. How'd it go down?
Yeah. So like this guy named General Mustachio, he was modding our faction.
Yep.
We trusted him.
Yeah.
And then we were gonna demod him because he wasn't really doing any work, because we had to keep blast mining because we had an overroad corner.
Yep.
He incited before we could demod him. So.
Did he find out you were gonna demod him? Is that why he incited?
I think he probably assumed it since.
Oh, he assumed it. So he assumed he was gonna get demodded. You didn't do it quick enough, and he went against you guys instead. Okay, so obviously you dislike that guy, General Mustachio. But okay, it seemed to have worked out for the better. You got this new base. Now, do you guys do any raiding here on Factions White? And who are your main enemies that you engage with some of the times? Kind of two questions in one there.
Yeah, our main enemies are probably Wall Street.
Yep.
Maybe Gods. Wall Street's probably the most active enemy.
Okay.
Yeah.
We raided a Brock Vault earlier today. We got like 5 dubs of P10 plus.
Dang.
Then earlier in the restart, we raided Valor, which we got like 2 dubs. But that was like at the very beginning.
Okay, so you guys don't just sit back, you build, you raid, you're kind of all around factions players is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
Awesome, dude. And you obviously, you're friends with Ben Mascot. You guys, do you ever wander over to gold, or do you guys mostly stick on white, whereas Ben kind of has the team there on gold?
We sometimes wander onto gold.
Wander onto gold, but this is your home, obviously. Home faction server of Faction White.
This is our home turf.
The home turf, man. Well, it seems like you guys are doing extraordinarily well. Again, big ups to you on this freaking base. I love it. I can't wait to see the calculations and see how much this thing is actually worth. Thank you for playing on TheArchon, and thanks for letting me tour this thing, guys. And hope you have a good day. Talk to you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, the calculations are in. Before we do so, though, I should mention that the guys here in Defiance, they wanted me to let you know that the base is actually known as the Panther, named after their beloved leader who had to quit Minecraft for a while. So I still recommend you guys naming the base how you would want it to be named. But as for the true name, it is the Panther after their beloved leader. Now, based on 170 IG spawners, 60 creeper spawners, and 1 silverfish spawner, 16 dubs of prop 4, 16 stacks of bedrock, 6 stacks of creeper eggs, and $28 million worth of miscellaneous items, the total value for this base here on Factions White on pvp.thearchon.net is $382,560,000. Woohoo! Congratulations to you, Defiance. You got a nice base. You know, we are on an OP server, so that's not the richest we've seen, but still, nice amount of money into this base, and if it's not considered, in quotes, one of the richest, well, let's just take a look at the design and what the base actually looks like. They have tackled a different aspect of Factions today, and I think we all should be impressed by that. Thank you to them for letting me tour their base again. I really do appreciate it, and thanks to you guys for playing on pvp.thearchon.net and watching this show every single Saturday. If you did enjoy, touch that like button, join the rushers by subscribing, and I can't wait to see you on the server. Hope you have a beautiful day. We'll talk to y'all later. Goodbye.